Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well. And fleet is now a thing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we now have fleet. Um, let's get this baby started. This has literally just happened on the live server. This has just come across. So with this, we now have ships in the hangar and we can view them. We can do all the bits to it, so we can see what modifications we get. So this is a reserve ship, so dry docking, cleaning a ship's things. So there's lots of interesting little things. So torpedoes are looking like a standard feature. But yeah, but ships are here and we can actually look at them. We can see armor and we can see x-ray of them internally. We can actually see what's happening. So this is one of the reserve ships for the Germans, the German rank 1. It looks like ships are going to act differently to planes. You're going to go across instead of down for the ranks, which is kind of odd. It kind of feels a little bit weird. So we've got the R boat. So we've got the R boats there. We've got the anti-aircraft barges, which will lead into more anti-aircraft. So aircraft defense barges, which will finally lead to the MZ1. So let's load this up. So this is sort of the ultimate anti-aircraft ship, apparently. And again, we can look inside and see all the internals, see all the important parts. So there's the pumps down there, the magazines, the engines, the magazines, torpedo tubes there. We can sort of see the main crew members, so that is interesting. Modifications again, so modifications, of course, depth charges look like you need to unlock depth charges, so they're not going to be instant. However, torpedoes will be instantaneous by the look of it. You will need to unlock shells. So turn speed, things like that. So it looks like there's a fair bit to unlock, but you've got things as standard, so that is good. Let's just pop the Cargalster there, the destroyer, the premium destroyer in here. So we can finally see the destroyer and see the armor. So really no armor around the belt area. I think the ship's main armor is about 17 mil. Maybe even less actually. No, a couple of millimeters around the actual ship. But you can see it in the port now at least. And we can also go into the X-ray view to see exactly where everything's kept. So we can see this is the main bridge. We've got all the crew up there. This is actually a pretty interesting little view. It's interesting to see it finally in this mode. So yeah, ships have arrived. Of course, all the modifications will be unlocked on this. Ammo wetting isn't unlockable, so less chance of that. Shrapnel protection. Fire protection is an unlockable. We have to unlock FPE. Looks like you also have to unlock tools. So that's frustrating. Obviously, I think flooding is going to be flood protection is going to be automatic unlock. So fire is going to yeah. So pumps are an automatic things by the look of it. You also get your choice of the shells as well. Of course, and you can actually change your main gun armament as well. So the 37mm secondaries, let's just change them. So the Emden is the top rank 4 ship. So there's only 4 ranks. So the Emden is the top ship. So need to work on unlocking that, of course. And I guess we just go into events and tournaments, and then you can start playing with your ships straight away. But before we do that, let's just look at crew. So I'm not actually going to do gameplay right now. I'm just going to do mainly what's in the hangar. So gameplay, you've got the ship commander, which improves leadership, interchangeability, radio communication, so targeting, observer, air target, surface target, and torpedo spotting. That's going to be useful. Engine room, ship control, time of rudder reaction speed, and fire prevention, fire preparation of the engine room, reducing chance of fire. Gunners, main caliber reload, auxiliary caliber, all reload, and also gunner accuracy, and then distance fuse accuracy. So these are for your anti-aircraft gun radio fused shells. Damage control, unwatering time, so time to eliminate flooding, fire extinguisher, time to take out fire, breach repair, eliminating or combat damage, modifications of repair time, and survive leadership of the struggle for vitality, reducing the penalty from the simultaneous launch of all three processes of the struggle for vitality. So I'm guessing that one means if you use all three of these at once, this will mean it's less stress on the crew. Logistics, repair team, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the main sort of crew skills there. But what I'm going to do today is we're just going to take it out for a test sail. Before we do that, let's just go to the customization. Let's see what we can customize on these. So we can't add any extra bits and bobs. There's no option to add any extra bits. We can sort of see its damage model there. Unfortunately, we can't see the holes in it. It's actually got the German flag as standard. So the historical placement of the flag, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of really cool. We haven't actually got any naval in there. Yes, we do have naval there, actually. Germany naval. So we've got the new insignia, so the German decal there. And I imagine we will have USA naval as well. Maybe. Sorry, I'm just looking at this for the first time. So... yeah, I'm only seeing the German naval there. I'm only seeing one naval. If I'm missing it, do forgive me. So there's not much for the naval, obviously, at the moment. Just the actual German insignia, which, of course, is the German naval colours, and it doesn't have a swastika on it, of course, because that would be bad. But let's place some ship numbers on here. So we'll be 334. So we can place the numbers on the ship, that's fine. So you can add some decals if you want, but you can't add any, obviously you can't add any items on there, which is kind of interesting. It's a shame you can't make a bush ship. So let's say armor is just the gun armor, what we can see. So that's all done. So yeah, that's all good. So let's do a test sail. Realistic battle. Current. Weather. Let's go for good, for clear. And let's start for a test sail. Let's see how that goes. So obviously we can now test the ships out and do a test sail. So test sail fleet, we've got some planes up, so we can test how the anti-aircraft fire goes. We'll just switch to aircraft. So we've obviously got a stock ship at the moment. So our AAA is firing, and there goes the aircraft. So that's just our basic basic use. So let's see how we go for shooting at an enemy. Apparently our gun's jammed already. Got some hits on that destroyer. Gun has jammed. Cannot see what gun's jammed. Okay, let's try torpedo launch. So launch one off down there. One fish away. So this will be good for getting used to how the ships react and just getting used to the gunnery, really. So just get an idea of how it goes, really, and just sort of go to a full stop. And let's see how well this goes. So we can get an idea of how the ship is performing. You can sort of see the torpedo speed there as well. So we've got a hit on the engine room. There is a little Higgins boat coming around to the side of us. So we can sort of, we've got a moving target at least as well, a moving naval target. Some sort of shallow areas to play around in, things like that. So that's pretty good. Let's just return to hangar. Of course, that is the premium German ship. So let us head back to the hangar and let's head to America quickly. Sorry, this is all new to me, so everything is brand new. It's only just been released. So do forgive me, I'm a little bit slow on things. So let's look at the American tech tree. So we start off with a Higgins torpedo boat. So let's just have a little, let's pop him in the position. And then the USS Colwell, of course, for the destroyer. There's Fletcher class, Clemson, and 2 Clemson class and a Fletcher class for the destroyers. We've got motor gunboats. Now, just watch out if you do use any of the hydrofoils. So these ones here that have these hydrofoils there. These are basically allow the ship to go up a bit higher and go faster, basically. Watch out because it's a little bit broken because it will spawn you in in shallow waters and your hydrofoils will get stuck straight away, so it's a bit useless. So of course we can see the USS Colwell, which I don't have. Didn't get this one. I begrudgingly spent a little bit more to get the German destroyer. Interestingly enough, the Elco, the PT boat that's premium, is not in the list here, so you can't use your premium PT boat. You can only use the premium destroyer. That's kind of interesting. Or is it? I'm pretty sure I bought the American one. Yeah, they don't have any other nations. I can't remember what I bought now. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it was the American PT boat I bought, though. I might be wrong. I might have bought a Russian one, just one of the cheap Russian ones. But interestingly enough, let me know if I'm wrong there. So, of course, we can see all the Elcos there. And also the Higgins PT boats. So all of the PT boats are in there. So it looks like we're going to be fighting with small ships at first, like sub-chasers and motor gunboats. So really at this sort of the lower tiers, the biggest ship you're going to see is probably going to be sort of the motor gunboats, sort of this style of thing, which almost looks like a bloody fishing vessel. So let's just have a look at the American reserve ship. So as you can see, you've got 2 50 cals on board, and then you've got your torpedoes at the back. So really not much on board. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these go in a fight. This lower tier. So modifications, of course. Let's look at mods. So we've got the toolbox unlocked at least. FPE, of course. Rangefinder, all of that. So nothing major. We can go for the AP or the armor-piercing incendiary for the rounds, and we cannot equip depth charges. Again, we need to unlock depth charges as well. So it's very basic sort of stuff. Let's see. I said I wasn't going to do, but let's see if we can get a game. I wonder if there's many. There's probably going to be a few people in the area, so we'll see if we can get a little game going. So we're basically just in the reserve boat. Probably don't need much of that. We'll take out... I think we'll just take out the full armor piercing. Okay, let's see how the Higgins 81 PT boat goes, and it's night. So, how many players we've got? Well, we've got a fair few players here. It looks like some people have got have already unlocked some of... Oh no, actually that's the German reserve, isn't it? So, we'll see how this goes. Dude, seriously? Don't run me into the rock, dude. That's not cool. If you want to be my bloody shield, you can be, but seriously, don't run me into... Okay, we've got an enemy off to the side there. Okay, we set him on fire. Now, probably torpedoes are going to be incoming, so we're just going to turn into this guy. We'll get both our guns on target. And he's down. Alright, so enemy down. So we got our first kill in Naval. Got a smoke screen going here, that's quite useful. Do some repairs. And that looks like a little boat there. That's the German reservist. And I imagine that's going to be very easy to kill. It's very small. We've already taken out his gunner, I think. Main caliber guns down. And it's taking a fair few whacks to kill this guy. And we'll just go for the ram. Okay, and we're right in their spawn already, so we're spawn camping already. So, as you can see, the spawns are just really close to each other. So we're going to put our smoke out while we're running away from this spawn. So hopefully we don't get noticed as much. And it is night, so that is interesting. We've got an aeroplane apparently somewhere. So in realistic, the tags don't appear on the ships, so that does make it a little bit harder. That's really going to make it interesting when it comes to some of the naval combat.
Aircraft.
Got an airplane coming in. And the airplane takes us out pretty instantly with its guns. Let's take out a fighter. We're probably going to be best off strafing people rather than bombing them or torpedoing them, in all honesty. Yeah, it's interesting. Of course, at the moment, the game is going to be very, very mixed and different. Because, well, obviously everybody's using their reserve ships and stuff, so we're all on the same level, really. I do wonder how it's going to be when we get to the higher tiers, especially for long distance combat with cruisers and destroyers. Obviously they're going to really have a hard time. Just with that long distance shooting, just because you're really going to have to keep an eye on the targets. It looks like we've won this game, really. There is an enemy ship down there at B, but it looks like it's about to die. Let's dive in and see if we can't do a couple of strafes. Enemy plane there. It's a torpedo.
Somebody attack him.
Now, there's an enemy plane to our left. Did some damage, not as damaging as I'd have hoped there. Ooh. They're going to black out any second. Going down for sure. Now I think... oh crap, there is one right there. We can take out his gunner. Engine is dead. And there we go. Heinkel 51B. I have not seen the HE51B in a long time. The float plane Heinkel, that is good to see. So we are done. Yeah, it's... look, honestly, it's just basically... There's no real skill involved in this. It is purely just machine gun. It's basically just playing AAAs. That's all you're doing, is playing AAA trucks. If you were to get AAA trucks that had a lot of people on board, that is basically the game.
The enemy controls most of the strategic zones.
Yeah, it's really not that good. And as I say, you know, like the combat doesn't feel intuitive, really. I really feel for this little German boat because, you know, there's only got the one gun on board. It's only got a single. I think it's a... I don't think it's a 20. I think it's a 13 or 15mm gun. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But you know, as you can see, it's just really just shooting, and just taking the crew out. That's the only way you're doing it. There's no real skill involved in that, really. I'm guessing this guy's reloading. Or he's dead. I'm not sure exactly what this LS class is doing. Of course, torpedoing, you could use a bit of skill. This guy's going for the ram. No, dude, why aren't you shooting him? Like, seriously. Shoot him. This guy's pretty useless. Yeah, it's really, really not very fun at this BR. Let's just return to the hangar for a quick look-see at the German variant. We've seen the American starter boat. Let's just look at the American one. So we got First Strike and Ship Rescuer in that. Obviously, we got two kills for 181 lions. Be interesting to see what the what you get, like how much you actually earn for the actual game, pretty much. So what, we've got 250 cals on board that one, so let's just go to the Germans. So the LS class is a single 15mm machine gun, which is really, really, really quite poor. We'll take it out for a test sail, and then we'll finish up the video. So yeah, naval testing is absolutely open for everybody now. We can now see the tech trees, as I say. But yeah, even sure where the torpedoes come out the back of this thing, don't they? There we go, the torpedo tubes are in the back of this boat. So if we were to launch a torpedo, it would drop out the back of us like so, and then we would have to try and get out of the way, because if we don't, we can probably kill ourselves with our own torpedoes. So there's a torpedo. Luckily, it seems relatively deep, so that should be on target to hit this guy and take him out. There we go. So we've got a PT-6 there. So we'll fire off with 15mm. And although we hit a dead ship, we still caused a mass amount of damage to the front of our boat. So to take out the PT-6, we're going to need to basically shoot in the correct spots. So it's basically just machine gun fire, machine gun fire, machine gun fire. There's no real no, we could try and launch that torpedo, but we're not going to get enough lead on that, really. Our gun is jammed at the moment, so not much we can do. If that aircraft was coming in, for instance, we could possibly use our guns on it, but again, we've only got one 15mm, so it's not going to do a huge amount of damage. I guess if we actually hit the torpedo tubes on that thing, we should be able to detonate them. Realistically, those torpedo tubes would apparently detonate if they had torpedoes in them. Maybe we have to get them to black before they do, and that's quite a lot of firing, of course. There we go. We've disabled the torpedo tubes, but no damage. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. So we did manage to kill it with that, but again, that's quite a lot of shooting to manage it. And of course, if we come up against a destroyer, really there's not much we can do other than torpedoes to it, which of course is what these things were used for. But yeah, the German reserve boat is going to really struggle, I think. It is just way too small. I think it's going to really struggle. Let's go for the full speed ram into the Fletcher. Full speed ahead, Captain. Let's... You never know, we can actually maybe take out the torpedo tube here and get a kill. Not enough rounds. Okay, we're going to go for the full speed ram. And yeah, that didn't do much. um, so yeah, we'll just end it there, I think, guys. Yeah, Naval Beta is out. I will be playing a fair bit of this, of course. I will let you know how it's going. We'll be going down the. I think we'll be going down the German line first of all. In all honesty, we got a victory in that game. So we got a victory in the North Sea map, but you can see how easy it is for. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is really bad conversion. Right, so we got a victory in that with 2 kills. And that meant 49 experience points. Yeah, they're going to need to fix that because... Yeah, 174 research points for 2 kills in one game. Yes, I know it wasn't that many, but obviously they're expecting you to get like maybe like 50 kills or something. So the 1.7 ship, we earned 49 research points. 49 research points for that. So it's going to take a lot of games to unlock that, basically. Of course, we do have some golden eagles we can spend, so that is something. But yeah, that's a really, really bad conversion rate. I'm hoping that will get better as it goes along. Yeah, that's not a good sign indeed. So we might take out the premium ship and see how it goes. Yeah, that's really, really bad. So that's something to worry about there for sure. Of course, you can unlock the S boats first, so you can down the S class line and unlock the Schnell boats, or you can unlock the R boats. Now, the R boats, of course, will unlock you to the later Schnell boats, the S100, 1945, and oddly, the 1944 is after it. Interestingly enough. Now, there was one thing I did want to check out. Yeah, so the Albatross, the 143, these aren't functional yet. So eventually I can see these getting something, maybe, because they should have exocets in them, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, I did expect that to be a higher BR, but maybe they'll tweak it around if they do actually add the exocet missiles to it. The German destroyers, so it's kind of really weird how the research goes. You know, the better ships are at the end of the tech tree, but you sort of go down the tech tree to unlock the sort of base things and then go across to unlock the better versions instead of just going down one line. It's quite an odd tech tree setup. But for the destroyers, again, we got hydrofoil there as well, and as I said, avoid hydrofoils because they are a bit broken. So for the destroyers, the Type 1924, which is a very early destroyer, just with the free 128mm guns on board. This was basically a World War I style destroyer, really. Yeah, very early German destroyers we've got. And then, of course, we can go up to the 1939 and the Type 1936, which is one of the more modern destroyers in the game, obviously. And this is what we've been sort of playing with in beta for a bit, so we know how that ship goes. And, of course, we have the Emden, so we can actually preview that in the harbour now, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm really taken aback by how badly the research points were. So the Emden, you can see in all her beauty. A lot of guns on board this ship. She has, what, 8 150mm turrets. This is going to be a very high power ship for firepower, of course. Armour, we can actually see the armour layout. So the Citadel armour, or the the sort of midship armour, and this is designed to, you know, protect against torpedoes and things like that mainly. So you got the sort of torpedo bulge. where are we? Just about there. There's a torpedo bulge just there, and it's also turtleback armor, so it's got a very good effective armor thickness as well. So, you know, when you're fighting a ship, you know, basically the shell's going to be coming in at this angle, so, you know, you're going to need at least 40 millimeters to penetrate her. And it's going to keep this sort of engine room, fuel tanks, and the ammunition safe, and that's the main thing. It's going to keep all of those areas safe. Of course, the top section and your superstructures are still at risk, but it's going to keep the important bits safe for you at long range. So this thing's designed for really long range gunnery battles. So it's good to see that actually in game and see what it looks like. Just before we go, we will just glance quickly at the Yank cruiser, the Trenton, which is a sorry, I've gone completely. I was going to say Iowa class. I'm pretty sure that's a battleship. I've forgotten the name of it. 6-inch guns, so decent sized cannons on this thing. So very big guns on board, and again, if we look at the armor, you can see the boilers are protected. Now this ship is less protected, so it's got a higher risk of chance of being blown up. Really, if you send a shot into the ammo storage, that's going to cause some problems. And of course, at long range, when shells are coming in, you'll be able to hit the ammo storage on this one more. Like you've got more chance of hitting the ammo storage. So the Americans are going to suffer, it looks like. The Trenton will be a very easy ship to ammo rack, I would say, but it's got really good boiler protection, so you're less likely to get engine damage. You're more likely to get blown up because somebody hits your ammo racks. So yeah, that's going to be annoying. 100,000 research points required for just the cruisers. So if you make, what was it, 40 research points per game for 50 research points per game, that's going to be a lot of time researching this. Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end here, and I'll get back on with the beta and just testing things out. Hopefully, things change. Hopefully, the research points get increased, because at the moment they are just dire. All right. Until next time, this is me, Screwzilla, out. Bye bye.